what's up guys? It's the Real Hiking Viking again, and girls. So here are some tips about how to lighten your pack up. These tips are generally gonna be best used in a 3-season backpacking situation. Generally speaking, going lighter is gonna be better for you because it's gonna be less stress on your body, so it reduces injury, which means you can go further, go longer, and be happier. Number one is gonna be find a lighter backpack. Yes, this option means you're gonna need to spend a little money, but that's kind of how this works in a lot of situations is you gotta spend money to get lighter gear. So you really don't need a backpack heavier than 2 pounds. Under 2 pounds, you can find all sorts of options, especially from the cottage industries. They will give you a wealth of options under 2 pounds that are pretty affordable, really. You don't need a hip belt, you don't need a lid, you don't need a frame. Find out what it is that you like and what you need and go with that. Number 2, you're gonna wanna find a lighter shelter. That means finding a shelter that's made of like sil nylon or Cuban fiber Dyneema, a shelter that isn't freestanding, that uses your trekking poles and ultralight tent stakes. Again, the cottage industries are the place you want to go for that. And there's a whole variety of options out there, from A-frames to shaped tarps to fully enclosed shelters. It's really just all preference. And admittedly, getting a new shelter with these ultra lightweight materials can get a tad expensive, but it's kind of another way that you're going to be able to lighten up by a couple pounds. Under 2 pounds for a shelter is right where you should be. Number 3, a lightweight sleeping bag or quilt, preferably made from down, which is ultra light, ultra compressible, high insulating qualities. Typically you're going to want to make sure that it's a down that is hydrophobic, which means it stays drier longer, which means you stay warmer longer. Also, the quilt function requires less insulation, particularly in summer, because it wraps around you and not under you, and it does not have a hood, so you're saving space and weight. Number 4, clothing. Clothing can be really dead weight in your pack. Like, you do not need all the clothing you think you need. You don't need a pair of socks for every day. You don't need a pair of underwear for every day. You're gonna get dirty. Your clothes are gonna get dirty. Just embrace it. Go with a shirt when you hike, and a long sleeve shirt when you sleep, and maybe a pair of leggings, and a pair of socks for when you're hiking, an extra pair, and maybe a sleeping pair. 2 to 3 pairs of socks at most. And try and find shorts or something that have an underwear liner in them. That saves you from having to wear underwear. Number 5, pack your food accordingly. Try and find out how much food you need for how many miles per day you're trying to hike till the next town you get to resupply. And if you're always running into town with like a day or 2 of extra food, try skimping on your next resupply. It also helps if your food that you're buying is high in fat, which means it's more calorically dense. And in addition to that, you can save weight in your pack on food by eating a fat meal in town before you leave. Number 6, try and have some of your gear that has more than one use. For example, a ground sheet that's a poncho, a tent stake that's also a trowel, dental floss that's also gear repair, or your trekking pole that holds up your shelter. These things are gonna really help your pack get lighter. And also, in addition to that, take note of the things that you're not pulling out of your pack at least once a day. You don't need them. Ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain. Lighten your pack up, your body will thank you. As a closing thought, your skill set with backpacking is largely going to determine how far you go with ultralight backpacking. You know, if you're more comfortable with a freestanding tent, then use a freestanding tent. And if you want to carry luxury items like a pillow or, you know, a battery pack that's heavy because you want to listen to your podcast, that's okay too. If you're new to backpacking, you don't have to get it right out the gate. You can refine as you go and figure out what works best for you. By the time you're done, you'll be a pro. Thanks for watching. We'll see you out on the trail.